I don't know that Stugotz has ever done this to me before. He's furious at me about what I just said, and he's here on behalf of Jim Cantore.
I am. Dan, I am tired of people telling Jim Cantore how to do his job. He does his job the way he does his job, and he does it better than anyone else. Dare I say he is the Michael Jordan of weatherman. And if he wants to be out in the middle of the street showing you how powerful this hurricane is, God bless his soul, because that's what he's trying to do. Jim Cantore standing in the middle of a hurricane is the greatest thing on TV. And he is doing a service for everyone watching, so you know, so you can feel, so you can get an idea of what these cities were going through yesterday. Jim Cantore doesn't wait for the eye of the hurricane to come to him. He seeks out the eye of the hurricane, and he stands in the middle of it. That's what he does. Yeah. It's why he's the Michael Jordan of this.
He fell down a couple times yesterday, got hit by a tree.
He's fine.
Maybe I just don't know a lot of weatherman, but I didn't know who Jim Cantore was until this week.
Exactly.
Is that right? Is that true?
I didn't know who he was until Tuesday.
Yep.
This is a household name.
Well, but you have not.
No, but all these people on social media, do we really still need to be doing this? Yes, Jim Cantore needs to be doing this. Yesterday was Jim's Super Bowl.
There are a lot of good weatherman out there, though.
Jessica is
name them.
You're not from Storm.
Hey! It's 2022. Give some respect to the weather woman.
You are not from places where weathermen or women would have famous names because you haven't been tracking storms, right? That's something that happens somewhere else.
Well, there are some famous weathermen in the New York, major news.
Enough with New York.
Broadcast
But
network.
not this one. Okay, regardless.
Well, Storm Field is
Hold
who
on
you're
a
talking
second.
about.
I also should
It's a
say,
great name.
New York and New Jersey famously hit by one of the biggest storms of the last century, 10 years ago.
And you know who was in the middle of it? Jim Cantore.
I'm just saying, this isn't exclusively Florida. South Carolina and Georgia and North Carolina are about to get slammed with this thing, too.
I would just expect someone who's been following major weather events to know who Jim Cantore.
I follow them myself,
Jim
though.
Cantore.
I look at my own radar, and I do my own weather manning.
Really?
Not that this is, Lethal Weapon and we're comparing scars, but Superstorm Sandy was super destructive. But in terms of big, it wasn't it was half as powerful as what just hit Florida.
Yeah, we don't need to do
that was an
biggest
infrastructure.
storm. It caused massive devastation, displaced thousands of people. I'm saying that there are storms in other places in Florida.
Agreed. We were talking about.
I'm not comparing it to other storms.
Okay. Regardless.
Dan likes to play the Miami, if you're not in Miami, you don't know what a weatherman is game. And I'm just saying there's other places in the country, Dan, where weatherman come into play.
What was the game?
You didn't know Jim Cantore, and he's the Michael Jordan of weatherman.
Exactly.
Well
said, Mike.
Is he on CNN? Is he a cable news guy?
He's the weather
His channel is only called Weather.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's
Wherever the eye is, that's where he is.
Channel?
Yes.
It's the most trusted.
He is the eye.
Twitter.com. I find all my important weatherman information on Twitter, whether it's coming from Jim Cantore or some other person whose name I don't know and their mic is wrapped in a condom. I listen to the experts, but I don't get it through cable. And that's all I'm saying. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know what channel he was on. I got my Chris Whittingham Twitter list.
That was a little look at me, Louie, by
John
the way.
Morales.
If anybody needs to follow the storm, here's my list
it's
of all the
helpful.
people.
I love it every time he does
list,
that, man.
Yeah.
So cute.
I hate to admit
But so how would you like me to market my Twitter list then? You want me to just tweet it out?
Don't.
Hey, wait, what?
Jasha's top 10.
I'm trying to provide a public service, which many thousands of people have taken me up on.
It's you being like, I'm better at this than all of you.
But he is.
I know, but just shoving it in my face of look how organized I am. It's just, I get it. It's helpful, but also it can be helpful and annoying all at the same time, right?
Yeah, I think that describes Whittingham pretty well.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Is helpful but annoying something that describes Whittingham pretty well, actually? And also put on the poll, is Jim Cantore a famous name?
Put it on the poll.
The Michael Jordan.
The Michael Jordan of Weatherman.
Thank you.
Okay, that's fine.
How I said
Put
it.
that
Yep.
on the poll. Yeah, just like that. Regardless, Stugotz was yelling at me for simply worrying for the day that I will have to see a televised Jim Cantore killed, which is what I think most people are saying. Like, these storms keep getting bigger. It seems like they keep getting more dangerous. You keep going to the eye. Yesterday, you got hit by a tree. And one day I'm going to be watching, and Jim Cantore is swept out to sea.
No, he would have been chopped in half if he stayed broadcasting from the position, because a street sign, an aluminum street sign, came flying by. Those things are heavy and sharp. It would have impaled the man. So he actually, after that, thanked to his producers for getting him out of there.
He did say it's the first time I have to go inside. I can't do this anymore. And he was frustrated by it.
Right.
He didn't want to go inside.
I felt bad. He was stood in a parking garage, and I felt bad for him because you can tell he wanted to be in the action.
He was very disappointed.
He was still kind of being whipped around in the parking garage, but it probably didn't feel the same.
Are you saying he quit yesterday? Are you saying that he wanted to get back out there?
He didn't quit, Dan.
No, but it sounds like I didn't see what you guys are describing. It sounded
he was
like
brought inside.
It sounds like he wanted to keep going, but he was pulled from the game.
And then grateful because it might have saved his life. There was a lot of debris, not just that street sign. There was a lot of debris that went through that. And one of the new augmentations that Weather Channel has done to their coverage is, thankfully, they've given their reporters these baseball helmets, because the debris is literally barreling at you at 160 miles per hour. You cannot see it coming. And that's what the producer was protecting Jim Cantore from, and he was grateful.
They probably should wear like football helmets with like a face mask as well, because like if it hits you in the head or hits you in the face, it's hitting you. But I agree with Stugotz rather vigorously, because you see a lot of people on Twitter having a go at the Weather Channel for putting Jim Cantore out there. He wants to be out there.
Yes.
Like, I don't think that they had a meeting in the Weather Channel where they go, "Hey guys, you're gonna stand outside and we're gonna put you in harm's way." Like, I don't think that was a producer's recommendation.
This is like the same argument for putting Tua back in the game on Sunday. He wants to be out here. He's having so much fun.
For his teammates.
For the American public.
For the viewer, yes, to give you an idea. It's not about Jim. It's not Look at Me Louie. It's for you. It's so you. Well, there's a little Look at Me Louie, but for Jim, what he's doing there is he is giving you in New York, in Idaho, in California, in Texas, this is what it feels like to be in the eye of this hurricane, and he's great at it. He really is.
There's no disputing that. I'm not disputing that. What I'm asking you about liabilities and televised death, which is what's happening when people are complaining, hey, get him out of there. This thing is getting more and more dangerous, and one day somebody's going to get electrocuted on television because there are people dying all over the place now because of the dangers involved with reporting from there. I think it was Andrew Marchand, the sports media critic, who said this is the dumbest thing on television. And Stugotz is arguing it's the
Classic New York bias.
greatest thing on television. And I think
it's a man doing his job and doing it very, very well. At the highest, yes, a weatherman.
I skew closer, I think, to Stugotz than Marchand. I want Cantore to have his freedom. I think I'm going to regret these words, though, if one day I'm watching and he does get, hit by a stop sign, and I'm watching, like I've just watched somebody be seriously harmed.
But it's the way Cantore would want to go, to be honest with you. If
he went out doing what he loved.
Yeah, exactly right. His Super Bowl. Going out doing what you love. How many people could say that? Not many.
Greg Cody might have on last Friday.
Yes.
Listening to a clip of himself.
And this Friday, possibly tomorrow as well.
It better not be empty, guys. It is the biggest Cesta Cyclones match of their brief history. Reigning champions. It's a rematch of the championship game. It's on ESPN+. And one of the I know we mentioned it earlier this month, but for those big Friday night games, the winner gets money given to their charity. So on the line is a donation to Ron McGill's endowment on Friday. We're going up against our rival Wall Warriors, and this is a big one.
It's the equivalent of like Chiefs Bills or Dolphins Bills, if you will. Like, it's like as good of a regular season match as you can get.
Miami has not been supporting this
We'll
team.
be out there. If you want to take a picture with Mike,
Please talk to me. All right.
Mike, I thought you said if they come out, you'd be nice.
I know. All right. I mean it this time. If you come out to the Magic City Fronton Friday, 7 o'clock for the Cyclones game, I'll take a picture with you.